the most refreshing thing about Avatar, The Way of Water, was how James Cameron was able to bring back the concept of fatherhood. It's the way he explored the concept of a father being a leader. It's the way he was able to bring back the relationship between a father and a son. I mean, sons today in these movies, there are very few movies that actually talk about that, father and son. All movies, I've seen James Gunn do that with Guardians of the Galaxy. I also saw him do it with the Christmas special, but you don't see a lot of series and a lot of movies do that today. They are focused on girls and women, and you don't get, at this level, you don't get a lot of movies that actually focus on the father-son relationship, the father being a leader, the father being a protector, the father being a warrior. And this movie did a fantastic job in doing that. I'm not saying that Nyatiri was sidelined. No, you didn't get more of Nyatiri as much as you got more of Jake. You got more of Jake, but all of them were overshadowed by the children. So you had the children first, then Jake, and then Nyatiri. But Nyatiri is given one of the best action set pieces that I've ever seen in any film. The final action set piece in this film is Nyatiri she goes off, and she's given one of the best scenes ever in terms of fight scene. But in this film, James Cameron was able to actually go against the grain, because the grain today is female first, and he was able to tell a good story that focuses on actually a father, family, how a man is forced to protect his family, not in his environment. He's forced to run away. He's forced to be a fugitive and still handle the family dynamics and the challenges that actually face men today. And I think the other thing that he was able to do so well is these small things of just family members. I'm talking about the parents, I'm talking about the kids, how kids relate and how boys relate, and the nature of boys and how boys can make mistakes and pay for them. How boys how a father can learn from a son. And there's a particular line, a son for a son. When it happens, you'll understand. And he looked, this is amazing. And apart from the visual effects, the most amazing thing was the contrast between what a good father is and what a bad father is, and how children, boys, perceive their father, how they look at them, and what it means to them. So for me, this movie, James Cameron was able to do something that I never thought would happen, something I thought I would never see in any modern film, especially with that budget. Hollywood today with that budget should be told, like, we need LGBTQ, you need a female lead, okay, this movie has a badass female character, and you don't feel like they're telling you, oh, these are female badass characters. No, they're not telling you that. They're actually showing you that they are. You don't feel like they're trying to be woke. It's believable. They're put in scenes whereby you look at and go like, okay, that makes a lot of fucking sense. That's not put there for me to feel like, oh, we have a fantastic, powerful female characters. I wish Hollywood would just take time to write good stories. The other thing that they did with male leadership and what it means was that when Jake left their home to go to this other place, they go and find their leader. And the leader is a man, is a king. And the woman is there, the queen is there, but she's not sidelined. But the male character is given the respect that a male king is supposed to be given, and you're watching that and you're seeing a certain balance. She has a lot of say, but he also has a lot of say, and there's just a kind of balance where you don't feel like this movie is trying to be woke. It doesn't look that way, it doesn't feel that way. The characters are well balanced. The concept of parents and how parents treat their kids. And I'm just not talking about parents, I'm talking about fathers, how fathers relate with kids and how they treat them, and how that can affect them. that was simply amazing what James Cameron was able to bring out, and I hope more movies will continue doing this. Having strong female characters is not a bad thing, it's perfect. But what you need, if you have for example, Nyetiri is a very strong character, but her strength is not brought in to show us that we have a strong female character. No. Okay, I'm speaking like this are human, but they're not, they are Navis. They've not been polluted by the culture of the alien people. But here's the thing, Nyetiri is a very powerful character, but she's not there to be a strong female character or a symbol of that. She's there to serve a story. You understand? So if you are in Hollywood and you're watching this, which I believe that you're not, it's impossible. But when you're doing a story, stop thinking in terms of strong female characters and think of how that character serves the story, because the story has to come first. The story is pivotal. The story is more important than the kind of characters that you have. You want to have an LGBTQ something plus character. It's okay, have that character, but the character is supposed to serve a story. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
If you're introducing a new character, the introduction is supposed to. In this movie, they introduced a new character who took the place of this guy when he died, and she's there to serve a purpose. Despite the fact that you don't see a lot of her, she's there to serve a particular purpose. And it doesn't feel like they sat down and then they thought, oh, so if this general is gone, we need to replace him with a female character. No, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like every decision that was made in terms of who was going to play what was going to serve the story. And it feels like James Cameron was very clear with the story. He was very clear with what he wanted to talk about, and he was very clear with his themes, and he did not compromise them in order to fit into today's trends. And that is what makes, for me, this movie especially awesome and mind-blowing. Am I saying that girls were sidelined? No, there are like 3 primary pivotal female characters. Again, you don't even remember that they are. You look at them like who they are. You know why? Because they were characterized so well. They were given fantastic arcs. They were there to serve a story. They were a part of the story. They were there to drive the story. They were not placed. They were not placements just placed there to represent, to be a representative. They were not placed there to fit, to draw in particular audiences to come to see the film. No, they were there specifically to serve the story. Avatar: The Way of Water is a love letter to all the fathers out there. I know some people will hate that factor about this film, but it is what it is, and James Cameron was able to knock it out of the park. This movie is awesome. Go see it in the biggest screen ever, so that we stop getting garbage that is coming out from lazy writers and come up with more well-focused film that actually tell stories. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. Say what you feel about this film if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go see it. It's important.